Hello, and welcome to episode 31 of Movies Nuts. I'm Marcus.
And I'm TJ.
And this is the review show that reviews genre movies from the beginning, sometimes. And today we're going to review classic Blade 2.
We're going back into Universe 32-320. Or 30,
You were waiting to say that, huh?
35-320. Yeah, before I forget again.
35-320.
Yeah, 35.
What else is in this universe?
Just this.
Just the Blade movies?
Just the Blade movies. And the Blade TV show.
What's a Blade? Is it animated?
No. There is a Blade. There is a Blade animated one. It's actually an animated I reviewed on my other podcast, Anime and Us.
I think we talked about this off camera before. I thought
We might have talked about it on the show before. I mean,
probably.
It was okay. It was average, but it didn't feel like an anime. It felt like, a Saturday morning cartoon with Blade.
Did it have anime style drawings?
Kind of. It's weird.
Kind of.
It's weird. You'd have to see it, really. You'll get it.
Fair. That's fair. Well, anyways, yeah, we're doing Blade 2.
Are we?
Yeah. There it is. Okay. Blade 2 came out in 2002. The great year of 2002. It's very a 2002 movie because a lot of the special effects and it's post-Matrix, and it has very post-Matrix vibes. Like, oh, slow motion, guys, let's do that. Full time, we can do that. And
the CGI is bad.
Yeah, PlayStation 2 graphics. Box office. Don't care about that yet.
They did have a PlayStation 2 video game for this, so maybe they stole it from that.
Was it good?
I don't know. I didn't play it.
The runtime of this movie is 117 minutes, which equals out to an hour. What?
An hour 57.
That's too long. Yeah, just under 2 hours. Wow, that's ridiculous. Yeah, it came out March 22nd, 2002. The budget for this film was $45 million.
Really? I got 50.
I'm sorry, I read that. Yeah, dyslexia kicked in. $54 million. The box office was $155 million.
That's what to say. I was like, I got different numbers. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. Speaking of box office, with $155 million, this places this movie at 32 worldwide of 2002. 32. Stuart Little 2, Mr. Deeds, and the Santa Claus 2 beat this movie out. I'll tell you the top 10 if you want to hear it, TJ.
I'm just going to wait until you get it all out of your system.
Yeah, that's right, you are. Number 11. I'm saying number 11 because it's Steven Spielberg DiCaprio movie, Catch Me If You Can. And I'm always saying that because number 10 is another Spielberg movie, and it's called Minority Report, Tom Cruise. And now number 9 is My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Number 8, Ice Age. Number 7, Signs. Number 6, Die Another Day, James Bond. And the top 5 is just straight nerd movies. Most of them are sequels. So number 5 is Men in Black 2. Number 4, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. The second worst Star Wars film ever made, to my knowledge yet.
I actually think that's the most boring.
It's the most boring, but it's not the worst.
I think boring's worse than the worst. Worse than bad.
No. At least boring is just. At least with boring, there's a story going on.
At least
that doesn't have too many plot holes.
At least with bad, there's rage.
Rage isn't a good feeling, though. You actually get down the Sith path.
So
I'm not trying to be a Sith. I'm trying to enjoy myself watching a damn movie.
As a critic, you need to go down the rage path.
No. By the way, I'm going to say the one I hate most is The Rise of Skywalker.
It's because you're stupid.
It's not a movie. It's a terrible movie.
It's not the worst movie, though.
And the Star Wars Skywalker saga, it's the worst one.
You're wrong. But, this is Blade, not Star Wars.
We could argue Star Wars all day. Number 3, Spider-Man. Number 2, Harry Potter and not Deathly Hallows. Wow. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
That was the second one, wasn't it?
Oh, God. You guys about Harry Potter. Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone, then the Chamber. Yeah, I think Chamber of Secrets number 2.
So how come we didn't, Harry Potter, the first one, never broke number 1? Or did we not do that year?
It came out probably 2001, I assume. Let's check. Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone was number 1 last year, 2001.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So they released one a year, essentially?
Pretty much at that time, yeah.
Okay. I knew that didn't come up before. And I was surprised if it wasn't in the top, 10 or whatever.
I'm trying to see what movie came out that year. Lord of the Rings, the first one, Monsters, Inc., Shrek, Ocean's 11,
anyway,
The Long Return, Jurassic Park 3, Planet of the Apes, Hannibal. Was there any? And number 1 for 2002 is, drumroll please. You have any idea what it is?
I have no clue. I only seen 3 of those movies that you said so far.
Oh, you know this one. Lord of the Rings and the Two Towers.
Well, I'm surprised X2 isn't up there somewhere.
I don't think it came out in 2002.
It did not? Oh, that's 2003.
Yeah, there's no way it came out in 2002.
You're right. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I apologize. Well, not a fun year. Anyway, so that's a box office. Any other questions, TJ, before we get to you?
No, not about the box office.
Okay, anyway, so back to Blade 2 in 2002. Was directed by Guillermo del Toro. Written by David S. Goyer. Produced by Peter Frankfurt, Wesley Snipes, and Patrick Palmer. Starring Wesley Snipes, Chris Christopherson, Ron Perlman, Lenore.
Lenore, yeah.
There we go. Lenore, Jesus Christ, Varela,
Isn't that an I? Oh, no, you're right. Varela.
Norman Reedus, Luke Goss, Donnie Yen. That's the other one I want to talk about. Was Donnie Yen, who was totally mishandled in this movie, in my opinion. Who's also the fight choreographer in this movie. But two of those names came back from the first one, right? No one else came back from the first one?
Yeah, Wesley Snipes and Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, the rest are old. Or new.
That's it. I mean, I got a few more names.
Sam.
Matt Schultz.
Yeah, Matt Schultz.
Danny John Jules. Carol Roden. Merritt Velkyle. Daz Crawford. Tony Kerman. Santiago Segura.
And that's all for the breakdown, I guess. There's no behind the scenes stuff I'm going to talk about right now.
No, I mean, nothing really interesting happened besides it was filmed on location in the Czech Republic and London for the last scene.
That's so stupid, but whatever.
But, like, yeah, so that's about it. Nothing interesting, no drama, no nothing. It was a popular movie that got a sequel, and everyone wanted to make it, so... I mean, the only thing that I got was they had a different story that they wanted to do.
Yeah, time travel was saying, right?
Well, yeah, some of it had time travel storyline. They also wanted to bring in Hannibal King and Frank Drake, which
I have no idea who they are.
Which they're comic book characters.
Are they good Like, are they interesting?
I think they're. I actually not very knowledgeable on Blade, but Hannibal King was in the Tomb of Dracula, which is where Blade debuted.
Yes, we talked about this last episode.
So he was a character from that.
Okay.
And who was the other one? Frank Drake, I think, if I remember correctly, was also from that, but I think he was the actual villain. I don't know. Actually, I have to look it up. I don't remember off the top of my head who he was. But they also wanted to do Morbius, which is the vampire.
Which I'm really surprised they never did in this series.
But they wanted to keep it separate, which they've done even to this day. Frank Drake, God, I couldn't say his name, was actually in the first Tomb of Dracula. Now that I'm looking it up, I think he was actually the original protagonist.
What was his abilities? I guess his powers.
He was more of a Van Helsing type. It looks like.
Oh, okay. I always love Van Helsing.
He accidentally resurrected Dracula.
How'd you accidentally do something like that?
I don't know. Like I said, I never actually read it. I'm skimming through his biography right now. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the Blades franchise, so
that's fine.
I can't read every comic, Marcus.
Well, you are the comic book guy. I've seen every movie, TJ. What's the guy's name? Frank what?
Frank Drake.
Drake. Was he in Castlevania?
No.
Huh?
I'm actually getting this thing confused with Francis Drake, the historical explorer. So I keep thinking Francis Drake. And I'm like, wait, no, that's the explorer from like the 16th century or something shit like that.
Yeah, that's someone real, not a comic.
Yeah, and if you type in Frank Drake, you get some guy that died. So
what's depressing?
You have to.
So
You have to type in comics. Anyway,
want to start this review proper?
I don't know how we started review proper. We're already off the rails.
Are we off the rails? We start in the Czech Republic, Prague. I guess we appear at a blood bank with these bug zappers everywhere for some reason.
Bug zappers?
Yeah, there's blue things hanging on the wall like bug zappers.
What's
it called? Is it called bug zapper? Fly zapper?
I don't remember the bug zappers. I didn't notice bug zappers.
Oh, they're super annoying to me. Anyways, because they're just hanging on the wall. This is just colors. But yeah, we meet the main bad guy. Well, he won't know he's a bad guy. His name's...
It's neon lights. They're just neon lights.
But why are they zapping though? Like they keep they're bug zappers.
They're flicking off and on.
That's so dangerous at a blood bank. Why is that a thing?
It's to show how shitty the place is.
That's stupid.
Patient Zero. No Mac.
No, that's it. Thank you. No Mac. Okay. So yeah, we end up at a blood bank. This movie's so dumb.
All right, before we even continue, I just want to point out
Yeah.
that I don't think this story has anything to do with the comics.
I was going to ask you that. That's right.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I don't think it has a storyline. From the research that I did, research that I did not see anything that said this was any storyline in the comics.
so all this is made for the movie. Now, the first Blade, was that all comic driven, I think?
Some of it was comic driven. I mean, they took some liberties with some things, obviously, but like, this doesn't even really feel like a sequel, honestly.
I don't know. Yeah, this movie feels...
It feels more like a reboot.
Yes. Yes, that's where my issues come from. So yeah, reboot, yeah.
That's what I was getting at it, because like, there's no vampire council, now it's all run by one guy.
I mean, they mention why they do it this way.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, they cut out like the vampire council, which makes no sense. Now everything's run by one ultimate vampire, old vampire guy.
Yeah.
And then they bring back characters that are dead.
I hate that.
But yeah, it does feel like a reboot more than a sequel to me.
The main bad guy's name is Novak. Comes across some guys like, yeah, they can take all kind of blood, even blood and liters. It pulls out this big like liter of blood. Like,
no, he says they even accept blood in jars.
jars. Where do you get that from? There's so many questions are right there. I just got raised.
He probably murdered somebody and put their blood in a jar.
That's so much work. I was just bring a dead body in at that point. Don't bring my friend in. Anyways.
Yeah, but you can. Hey, it could be cow's blood for all they know.
I know in other lore. I'm not getting into that. Do vampires in this movie, in this series, drink anything but human blood?
I don't know.
Anyway, so the Novak gets called back to the back of the building, and they're going over his blood type and everything. It's like, oh, you got a very rare blood type, and we have found interest in that. And we're going to take you and eat you for that, because we're vampires. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He's like, vampires, I hate vampires.
I got the impression that they were going to experiment on him and torture him and take all of his stuff.
No, I thought they were just going to take his blood from him.
Yeah, but they're just not going to eat him and drain him. Like, it has a rare blood gnome, which means they need it for something. And I got that impression.
Oh, no, I didn't get any of that. I thought they were just going to drain him of every blood drop in his body, and that's it. But this one of these doctors has this glove hand of needles, which is so stupid and impractical
Freddy
looking.
Krueger glove.
Oh, it's the dumbest thing ever. Like, that's so impractical. Like, what are you going to do with that? It's so stupid.
He's going to invade your dreams.
Yeah. Call me bitch all the time. And Novak's like pretending to be scared, but like, oh no, he's actually a hyper mutated vampire creature and just attacks everyone in that room and kills them, and it's bloody and it's awesome.
He's a Cthulhu vampire.
Yeah, because his chin opens up. It's very Del Toro. That's what he does. It opens up like the Predator chin.
You know, as the movie went on, at first I was like, oh, that's Cthulhu vampires. Like, because the opening of the chin and then the almost like tentacles that came out. But then as it went on, I got like face hugger vibes from them.
Yes.
But then
yes.
As like midway through the movie, I was like, wait a minute. These vampires look just like Nosferatu vampires.
It's everything. It's like all the horrors stuff.
So it's like these are like Nosferatus instead of the actual regular vampires.
Yes. But that's funny because a lot of movies make Nosferatu like more dangerous than it is.
Well, yeah, I know. But it's also hilarious that they're called Nosferatu vampires when that's just the name of the vampire.
I know. So stupid. That's good. So after this bloody opening, there's a whole Blade voiceover intro while the credits rolling, just explaining, you remember vampires? You don't know nothing about vampires.
It's a recap credit roll.
Yeah. He even says in a recap, like, what's the guy's name?
Whistler?
Yeah, Whistler. I wish I his name. Whistler's died, but didn't die. I'm going to have to save him and put him down myself or some shit like that.
Yeah, how did he survive his own suicide?
And this movie skims over it so much, and I hate it. They mention it here, and they go like the first 5-10 minutes is Blade trying to get him, and then there's like another flashback of the whole thing happening from the first movie, and they never once say how he survived it.
Yeah, no. As far as I know, they beat him, they tortured him half to death, and then he shot himself to death. And as far as I'm concerned, you can't turn on somebody that's already dead.
Oh, so stupid. I hate that.
And,
that's the thing.
And if you could, he'd be a zombie vampire, not an actual vampire.
Exactly, because even then he's not a vampire because he gets dumb movie.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Anyways,
that doesn't make sense.
No, I hate.
Whistler's resurrection is stupid.
It just takes the whole same thing. How that's dumb. Same way the Palpatine's resurrection in episode 9 is just dumb.
We are not talking about Star Wars.
It's the same thing though. Like, why
It's
bring back
not.
someone dead?
No,
It just had it was a whole story arc right there.
that was clones. That's different.
That's how I feel about clones. I hate clones.
Well, they hate you too.
Good. But yeah, why bring back, it's like, oh, okay, I have so much to say about that. Anyways.
So instead of, like, Whistler's dead, but they dropped the
Yeah.
they dropped the actress from the first movie. Why not just bring her back as Whistler?
Exactly. Or even make the new guy the new Whistler. Like, why bring... I was thinking about watching this movie. Him staying dead would have changed nothing in the movie.
No.
Bring him back changed nothing in this movie because he does nothing in this movie that the other two characters could have done themselves.
No, he's just there because he was in the first movie.
That's
stupid.
Stupid.
They were like, "Hey, we got Chris Christopherson back. Wait, we killed him last movie. So what? We're paying him. So
That's exactly what happened. Like, it's like, I think just bring the first actress back and would have been, this made more sense. I mean, it would be less angry.
Oh man.
Anyways, Blade's tracking down Whistler for some reason because he's still alive. And there's a fight scene and bikes, motorcycles, and cool stuff, and slow motion, and all the Matrix and Fluid stuff we ever seen. And he finds Whistler after fighting all these vampires, killing them all but one.
Yeah, he finds Whistler floating in Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it's red Kool-Aid. And he frees him. He frees him and takes him back to his hideout.
Oh, you know how his hideout is that warehouse? You
Yeah.
know how it sits on the water?
Yeah.
You know why he's there?
Because vampires can't cross water.
No, because he's a Beyblade.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
You sure?
Yeah, I got my pun in.
Okay. What I do like about this movie, which I did gloss over, during a fight scene, Blade seemed more playful and more, not quippy, but more just happy, I guess. Because I remember the first movie, he was too, like, I'm emotional and emo and Blade. This one seems more upbeat and...
Well, it's because he's got his dad back.
Yeah. Stupid. But yeah, now he gets back to his warehouse. And we introduced to Norman Reedus, his character.
We're introduced to Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl. I'm gonna call him Daryl because his name is Scud in this, but it's stupid.
It's Daryl from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's a young Daryl. He's very from the streets, Daryl. He's not a redneck. He's ghetto Daryl.
So
Daryl.
He's always in the middle of apocalypses, man. First vampires, and then zombies.
What's the movie called? The Blood Boondock Saints, Mafia Apocalypses. Yeah, that's his thing, man.
You just ruined the whole analogy. Thanks.
I know. Good.
So bad at this.
You're bad at this. Even when we get to his dumb twist, the dumbest thing ever. Like,
yeah, it's one of those I was the villain the whole time thing, but my character arc up to that point made it not seem that way.
And it lasts for 30 seconds till he dies. Why have that? Why?
His character development showed the complete opposite.
Exactly. Like here, Whistler's just being here and making him old versus the new. Like, I don't trust you. Or here's our bickering. Why? This is pointless.
But they resolve that whole story arc. They start to like each other.
Exactly.
And then they go and they ruin it with a secret villain.
It's so stupid. Because that had nothing to do with anything.
Which is made even worse because it says he goes on a monologue about how he was the bad guy the whole time, and Blade's like, I knew you were the bad guy the whole time. It was like, why?
It's the dumbest thing ever.
If you were the bad guy the whole time, why are you making weapons to kill your friends the whole time? It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. He literally made that bomb. Like, what's going on? This is stupid. Anyways, Blade puts Whistler in a room and says, if the shades will open, because Whistler's a vampire now. Vampires kind of turned him. But Blade put an injection of the cure.
That's a whole nother things that don't make sense. Him being a vampire and what he was doing to him and stuff. But this review is going to go on forever if we keep doing this.
I'm cool because it makes this movie. I can't say it sucked. It's just not as. It was so forgettable from when I first saw it. It could still be good, but now it's bad.
The story was not great in this. It was not a good script.
No, it definitely was not. It was made. It was pretty looking, kind of.
Well, I mean, I think Del Toro saved the movie.
Yes, but I think he also kind of hurt the film because if you know Del Toro films, it's very him. So
yeah, but this was early him though.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But like, it definitely has Pan Labyrinth and Hellboy kind of stuff. It's like, okay, father figure. We'll get to that kind of stuff.
But like
Yeah,
the writer on this, just we talked about him last time. He isn't really good at his job.
that's right. It's Goyer, right? I
It's
think it was.
Goyer, yeah. He
So
wrote,
he's like,
and he's like one of the big ones because he wrote The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight
yeah.
Rises.
So he's hit or miss usually, mostly
Yeah, and
miss,
he
I
also
believe.
wrote like Man of Steel and Superman: Dawn versus
That's
Justice,
right. That's
which
right.
was shit.
Oh
I
man,
mean,
Terminator Dark Fate.
coming from the guy who did Death Warrant and Kickboxer 2 and Demonic Toys and
Yeah.
Puppet Masters. Come
He
on.
did Godzilla in 2014. Dude, he
And
does a lot of dumb shit. Ghost
and
Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
and Crow, City of Angels. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
This guy is a bad writer.
Jumper. Long love list of shit.
His scripts ruined the DC universe.
That's a big word. Ruins.
No, he did. Right from Man and Steel, right up to Dawn of Justice, ruined both.
That still was okay.
He ruined the movies right from the start, and
Right from the
why does the whole universe collapsed?
I think it was a mixture of that and just not planning it through, or just trying to like catch up.
Not
to DC
understanding what the
next year.
characters are. That's what his
Yeah.
problem is.
But it's not just solely him. He didn't help, obviously, but definitely
He
not
wrote
solely
the
him.
entire script. He wrote the
saying.
story that caused the downfall and everything. If you have a good story, this is why I say the writer is more important than the director. And I know you disagree, but
I do disagree.
Yeah, but if you have a good script, you can still pull a movie out even with a bad director. But if you have a bad script, it's almost impossible for a director to save it. This movie was saved kind of by Del Toro, but it's still not a good movie.
I definitely agree. I'm going back to that DC statement. It's not solely that man Goyer's fault for collapsing the whole DCEU. It's just the whole studio or everyone involved not knowing how to take it or where to take it. And just like, Marvel did it this way. Let's skip the first X amount of phases and just go right to the end.
True, but they didn't do that with Man of Steel. They didn't even know they were doing that with Man of Steel. When they wrote Man of Steel was just a bad movie.
I think it was okay.
Yeah, well,
from when I saw it last.
You also like stupid crap.
I do, but I also like good crap too.
You like the Batman v Superman and stuff like that.
No, I didn't. Wait, which one came out first? That was Suicide Squad.
I think it was that. I think
I hated that one. I hated BVS. Suicide Squad I liked more because I realized, well, Batman vs Superman was shit, so I guess the bar set so low, it can't go any worse than that, and it kind of didn't. It was like barely better.
You have bad taste.
I have low expectations for movies nowadays. That's what it is. So if it's colorful and like makes some cool action, like okay, it's pretty cool, I guess. Anyways, let's get back to Blade. Whistler's in the room, detoxing and hopefully not turning into a vampire, turning back to human. And Blade's having his flashback of the last movie where Whistler killed himself, but then he killed himself apparently, whatever. Next day comes, Blade opens the door, sun's shining, we see Whistler. Whistler's human again. Yay, we got him back for some reason, woohoo. Stupid. And then the next scene is, what's funny, I just watched this. Oh yeah, Whistler's going through his, the place, kind of upset that Daryl changed it to be different. I guess just this is where they introduced them not liking each other, the old guy and the new guys not liking each other for no reason, just because they're old and young. And then there's this breach in the system, and who's coming in the warehouse? Some ninja vampires. Yeah, there's just this like little 5-minute fight scene of ninja vampires and Blade.
No, it's not. It's a little CGI fight scene.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's our first PlayStation 2 cutscene in the movie.
Because if I notice it, like I said.
Which is weird, though, because for 2002, it's not that bad. It's just noticeable, that's all.
It's really, really, really noticeable. Just the movements they do are janky.
Yes. They're floating and they're just not natural. But why is this scene anyways? Why not just knock on the...
this whole thing does not make sense.
Fucking stupid. So yeah, there's a 5-minute fight scene where someone could die.
So, like, the ninja vampires broke into Blade's hideout, destroying their security system, which apparently Daryl was already letting them in. Why do they need to break them with the magnesium things that Whistler said they have if he was letting them in anyway? And if they were just coming to talk to Blade, why did they need to break in, and why did Daryl need to break the security system in order for them to get in if they were just coming here to deliver this? And when they got there, why did they start attacking even though Whistler shot first? They could have said, knocked him down and said, hey, we're here for this, instead of going in and fighting for a whole 5 minutes.
When I was watching, it's like, this is a bad first encounter for a D&D group. That's all this is. Misunderstanding. Let's fight for 5 minutes and realize, oh, we're both good guys. That's just stupid. Because another is like, oh, we have a truce, the vampire truce with you. Please help us. Like, why do all that?
And like I said, where's the Vampire Council? Why is this one vampire running this entire organization? Why does he only employ humans in his warehouse thing? Where are all the other vampires? Why is there only all of a sudden 7 vampires in this entire universe?
Right. And the first one, in the first Blade, there's like full blood and half blood. That was a big thing. They mentioned like once or twice in this whole movie. Like, where's all the vampire and like inside? Like, this isn't really a vampire movie. It felt like, even though it really was. That whole fight scene was pointless.
You skipped over the first Blade fight with the vampires on the motorbikes.
What was I will talk about in that?
Well, you have to talk about the fat guy.
I said that. Yeah, I said there's a fight scene in there, and he lets one of the vampires go.
Yeah, but he lets one of them go. Why?
So he can kill him later.
Yeah, essentially. That's important because this is bookended with this.
I know. He says, "I'll catch you later." It's like, which I do enjoy because he does show up a few times in the movies. Like, oh shit, this Blade, I gotta get out of here. He doesn't say it, but you see it in his face. Like, oh, it's a guy from earlier. And he's leaving. It's cute. I like it. There's good things in this movie for sure.
Who was that actor? Do you know?
I don't know. I think it was his name's I have the page over here.
Oh.
Santiago Segura. His character's name is Rush because he's always in a rush. Get it?
Continue.
He was a Pacific Rim, another Del Toro movie.
Continue.
Okay, sir. Yeah, that pointless 5-minute fight scene happens, and now they're taking Blade and Daryl to and Whistler. I guess I don't want to see Whistler in the scene. They're taking them to the Vampire Council, the headquarters, which is a big, very noticeable vampire building.
You skipped another thing.
What did I skip?
Well, he strapped himself with Semtex.
I was going to say that. Anyways, yes, Blade has a packet full of Semtex, like a level whole city block or two.
Oh, and you also forgot this is where we start with the whole flirt in between him and the.
Oh, it's so dumb. Their quote unquote love triangle because she's the only chick in the movie. So dumb.
Love triangle.
Not love triangle. They're will they won't.
It's like a love line, if anything.
It's just dumbest, weakest love thing I've seen. Oh,
so she reminded me of a character called Nissia Al Ghul, which is Ra's Al Ghul's daughter in the comics. Well, second daughter, because the more important one's Talia, but Nissia was it. So I thought they kind of copied that from that, but no, apparently she was created a year after this movie.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, so
maybe this one inspired her.
Maybe, but I don't think so. But like her working under like this immortal, being and stuff. I really got an Al Ghul feel from this relationship.
So this character name is Nissia, right?
Nissa.
Nissa.
No, Nissa is how they pronounce the uncle. Nissia, I think, is how they pronounce it in the movie.
Okay, because NYSSA, so Nissia.
I think that's how they say it in the movie.
Yeah. So yeah, on a plane flight to the obviously vampire
helicopter, not plane.
On a helicopter ride to the obvious vampire hideout, Nissia tells Blade, "I thought
you just watch this movie. Come on."
I did, but it's like it was so forgettable. It's a 2-hour movie. It took like 4 to 5 hours to watch it. I was so bored. I keep taking breaks. Like, God, this movie sucks. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, you big Blade, supposed to be the big boogeyman. You came so easily." Then Daryl says, "Go on, Blade, show her what you brought with us." And he shows her his jacket full of stuff.
And if Daryl is betraying him at the end, how come he didn't tell him about the Semtex beforehand?
What do you mean?
Well, if he's the bad guy and he's working for these guys, letting Blade come in with a jacket full of bombs without letting him know is kind of irresponsible, don't you think?
Exactly. Everything he does in this
doesn't make sense because of his betrayal in the end.
Exactly. That's why I think the betrayal in the end is only 30 seconds long, and they kill him, so no one thinks about how stupid it actually is. Even putting the thing in the guy's head, like, why would you let him do that? It's just...
Well, it wasn't a real bomb, but it was a real bomb because Blade knew he was going to betray him.
It's the dumbest. Oh, man. So cheesy, so stupid. Anyways,
You know, I kind
Nizia,
of enjoyed the movie until I started dissecting it.
exactly. Until you start thinking about it, like when I first this came out in 2002, I was like 9 or 10 at this point. I've always had a problem with that heel turn because it made no sense to me as a kid, and I was 10 years old, and so that's why I probably forgot about this movie. And then I just watched it again today, like, man, yeah, it is stupid for a reason.
Yeah, it's definitely worse on our rewatch. I remember actually
Yes.
liking this one before.
It always had like something wrong with it to me, but I could never put my finger on what it was. I still can't. I don't know what I don't like about this movie.
It doesn't
Maybe it's
make
just the bad
sense.
writing.
It's the
What?
bad writing. It's the
It
bad
has to
writing,
be.
and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. There's like no. I guess there's no danger for Blade. I don't know. It's never. It felt like I don't know. It's weak. It's a weak movie.
Blade is definitely kind of overpowered in this, but so is the
So's the bad guy.
the Nomak is overpowered, which makes
Oh my
all the
god.
vampires weak.
Exactly. It's just watching two. It's like watching two badly written gods fight it out. Because whenever you see the other guys shooting bullets at them, and they're just standing there shooting bullets, like, oh, has no effect. Stop and keep shooting bullets. Like, once guns become obsolete in a movie, it was like
Here,
there's like little to no danger.
here's a video game analogy for you.
Yeah.
The vampires were the boss in the first game, but as this game goes on, they become the minions that was once the boss in an earlier level.
Yes.
You just kill them they were so hard, but now all of a sudden they're nothing.
Yes. Which usually isn't a bad thing when handled properly, but this wasn't handled properly. Because I do like the new vampires they introduce in this, that they're harder to kill and only sunlight can kill them. I like that. But to like weaken the regular vampires by so much to make them just human at that point is like. Really,
But they also took a smorgasbord of a bunch of different things and smashed it in together for the new vampires.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do this, and this. That's your new vampire.
Yeah, and when they try to explain it, it's like it's just genetic modification. That's all. Like that's what? It's just lazy. It's lazy writing.
It doesn't actually make any sense now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Because they said he was genetically modified.
Yes.
But they were talking about how but no, it doesn't. It's because they keep saying vampirism is a virus,
like cancer.
Like
but it's a virus of a purpose, though.
So it's a cancer.
Yes.
But I don't think viruses can. Well, I guess they can be genetically modified.
What do you mean that? Like,
I'm thinking too much about the science of this stupid movie now.
So I know you can. I know they can. I know, right? I know they can make viruses in a lab. They do, and they can modify them. It's like the vaccine, I guess. It's a modified virus, isn't it?
Well, it's
or just weakened.
It's a weakened version of the virus, so that your antibodies can get used to it and learn to fight it.
Yeah, but technically, is that modified then because it's weakened than a normal version?
I don't know. It's more of a dead virus being put into your system so that your bodies can recognize it. It's kind of like and I don't actually know if this is true or if it actually works, but like slowly. Over time, injecting yourself with small doses of poison so you can slowly become immune to it. But I don't know if that actually works, but
I don't think it. I had to read into that because of Princess Bride. I don't think it does work.
But
so I wanted to try that.
I do think it works with snake handlers, though.
Yeah, you think so?
Like, I think they get bit so many times that they get immune to the venom of snakes. I think I read that somewhere, but I'm not 100% on any of this.
Anyways, Nisia takes Blade in the group to meet her father, this Count Dracula. I don't know his name. Do you know his name? He's in a few things.
His full name is Eli Damaskinos by Thomas Kretschmann.
He's the new head vampire. Just like you said earlier, there's no vampire council now. This is where Nisia's daddy explains. There's a new breed of vampire out here that's killing both vampire and humans. They breed fast, help us kill them, and be a team for a little bit. And then after that, we split ways. Blade agrees, but knows it's bullshit and helps anyways. The next night comes, and Nisia takes Blade and the group to meet the new guys. They're called the Blood Batch? What are they called? The Blood Pack. Anyways, the Blood Pack is a group of like 6 or 7 vampires who were originally trained for 2 years and training to kill Blade. But now they're teaming up to kill these uber vampires. And there's all have their own quirks. One's a big buff guy, one a small Asian fighter with a sword. Going to the nightclub, which is called the House of Pain, which is another dumb name in this movie.
Isn't House of Pain like a rap song or a rap group?
It's a group, yeah.
They're gonna go see a House of Pain concert.
Yeah, apparently. And they go into this hideout, and what is it? It's a club. And Blade's like, not again. It's a reference to the first movie, I guess. And it's just a club. There's not even no blood in the club.
I just think vampires hang out in clubs. I don't think they have any other hobbies.
They suck, vampires in this universe. Like, they just club and just be brooding. And while we're going through the club, we see some vampires like doing surgery on each other or some shit. I don't know, and doing drugs, etc. But here, this is where underneath the club, the bad guy Novak and his little minions are looking around. I don't know why they're here in the first place.
This is where they think the Nosferatus are going to show up because this is a high density of vampires.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Blade and the crew run into the vampires. Well, let's just say this first. Ron Perlman hates Blade. It was always Blade. Blade's always him trying to. It's like a dick measuring contest, honestly. He's like, oh, I'm better than you're better. I know I'm better. And they come across them. They start fighting. They all each have to split up and fight in their own different ways. And they can't. They figure out they can't really hurt them with the weapons. And the only thing that really hurts these vampires is daylight. And outside the club, Daryl is fighting vampires too, which is stupid because he's in his van and them, but they can't get to him. So he gets out of his van and goes to them for some reason, and then runs back into the van. Dumb. And the guy up top, what's his name, Whistler, who's on top of the building trying to scope them out, he's disappeared doing his own thing, so he's still pointless in the whole movie.
So they're all searching for the Nosferatus in the House of Pain. And yet, they're all attacking Daryl outside.
Yep.
But none of them come out where all the vampires are. Exactly. They all stay inside so they can all have their separate little attacks.
And it's weird to me that these guys walk in all dressed in black with guns, and people are just still raving, not caring.
Well, because they were let in by the vampire guard, so they must be important.
Yeah, but like that would totally ruin my vibe. I was like, why the f are there guys with guns in here now?
I'm
getting
vibe.
Out of here.
Sure, you have a vibe. Okay.
Yes, I got a vibe. Like if I saw some guys walking to a club, like why? No, I'm out. See you guys.
You wouldn't ever be at a club for that to happen.
At this time in my life, probably not. But I used to go to clubs a lot, kind of.
Sure.
Yeah, I love going to clubs and festivals, mostly festivals. Anyways.
Exactly, festivals.
Even then, like, if I saw a bunch of guys walking with guns, like, whoa, I'm out. No thank you to any of this. These guys have guns. One guy's got a hammer, a huge hulking hammer. Like, what are we doing here?
You would just assume they're cosplaying.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, look, cosplayers.
Oh, man. But yeah, the fights break out.
At the festival that you're at.
Yeah. The fights break out. Another 5-minute fight sequence. And then, lo and behold, only someone can kill these things, no matter how hard you beat them down. So Daryl kills the size ones outside with the light beams on his truck. And one's inside is getting torn down by some light, I guess, whatever, random stuff. After the fight, Blood Pack loses a member. His name is the priest, the pastor, whatever his name is. They're kind of upset, so they hold a grudge for that for a little bit. But Whistler on the roof.
Only the one guy holds a grudge for it a bit.
Yeah, for some reason.
Only his partner.
And then Whistler finds.
For some reason, his partner just got killed.
Who cares? You're fighting a vampire. You think it's going to happen. Of course, someone's going to die.
No, if you're a vampire, you don't think you're ever going to die. That's the whole point of being a vampire.
Yeah, but first of all, Blade exists in this universe, and also sunlight, and also these new vampire creatures. They know you're gonna die from something. Whistler, who abandoned his post earlier, found a dying super vampire, and it was dying because his body was attacking itself. I think he was saying or something.
He was saying that they need to feed constantly, and if they don't feed, they start eating themselves, essentially.
Yeah.
So that means they die if they don't feed after like a day or so.
Exactly, because they're always hungry. Okay, so yeah, Nisya gets in not contact, but she and the main bad guy, Nomak, come face to face, and he lets her go for some reason. And then he ends up getting face to face with Blade, and they have their little fight sequence for the first time. I don't know why he leaves at that point.
Like who leaves at what point?
Nomak fights Blade, and Nomak just leaves, I guess.
Because the sun's coming up.
I guess, yeah. Daylight's coming. So after all this fight, there's an autopsy scene.
Daylight is coming.
Daylight's coming. So after that, there's an autopsy scene on the dying vampire, the dead vampire, and they discover that the heart's covered in bone, and that the only thing that can definitely kill them, they have pheromones and shit like that. 'Cause all this stuff comes into play later.
Neurotoxin, which never comes back into play.
A little bit.
Not really.
Bit. like
Not really.
a lion later.
Not really.
After that, one of the vampires, the big bad guy, the axe, he got bit by the super ones earlier, so he's gonna turn into one, but they don't know because he's hiding his wound.
Which is stupid. Which is just so that when they all separate later, he can kill off the other non-important Blood Pack members.
It's so dumb.
All the Blood Pack members are there to be killed off. They're pretty much just, hey, we're here for plot.
Yeah, would you call that plot?
We're here so that the plot has casualties. They show how scary these vampires that we're just going to kill off with a giant light bomb later in the same scene anyway. So that, you know, all the minions in this, including the Blood Pack minions, are all pointless and make no real sense whatsoever.
And see, that's right. That's what like I think as a kid I didn't like about this movie. Like, okay, they keep setting these things all up as like big scary things, and something big scary would happen, but then this small thing would destroy all these big scary things. There's like I feel like a lot of ex machina in this movie. It's like, why?
And
just, bad script writing.
And Daryl is the one that created the bombs that played to use everything. So Daryl is making new weapons for Blade to use against his vampire overlords, which makes no sense.
Which is bad because he's making the weapons for Blade. He's also killing these things, but like, didn't the vampires want these things to be made in the first place?
Yeah, but they got away. Like, he got out and started creating new and started hunting them.
That's dumb. That's dumb. So anyways, after that, this is where Daryl was making light bombs, and him and Whistler are kind of bonding and making better light bombs.
Light bombs.
Yeah, that's what's going on. So
they didn't have light bombs before. They couldn't figure it out before.
Yeah, but now their brains together,
they figure it out.
Yeah. And now they're venturing down the sewers, tunnels. And this sequence is probably kind of cool looking.
Except they split up in 3 groups, and like we said, Hammer Guy gets put up with the other 2 vampires that don't matter whatsoever. I mean, they have names, but they're never spoken of.
He fights
just so they could be killed off in different sequences. And in fact, the what's his name? The guy you like,
Donnie Yen. This is
Donnie Yen.
He fights one time the whole movie, and he gets taken down this easily in this one.
He gets pretty much killed off screen.
Yep.
Meanwhile, they separate Whistler with the 2 asshole vampires that have been being assholes the whole time, which means I think Blade wanted them to kill him, because otherwise, why would they send them off in that direction with the 2 people? That makes no sense. Yeah, send the human off with the 2 jerk-off vampires. Makes a whole lot of sense there. Meanwhile, he sends his girlfriend off with the only real competent vampire in there, and he goes off by himself. Wouldn't it make sense just to stick together?
It will make total sense to stick together. But like, I guess they're fearing that sunlight. Well, they're doing this all in the sunlight anyways. So yeah, never mind.
There's different tunnels, I think, is why they split up. But it's all the time. Stupid. They have all morning to figure this out. They're scraping around in this. They all need to separate so we can kill off everybody that we don't need anymore, and so that we can force drama that makes no sense.
Oh man. Yeah. So everything you just said happens. Vampire kills 2 vampires. 2 vampires hurt one.
No, that's not what happened. The vampire kills the one vampire off screen, and then he
kills his girlfriend.
No, he chases his girlfriend up a ladder, and she opens up the sewer hatch and kills them both with sunlight.
Yes,
she kills herself and her boyfriend with sunlight.
And then the 2 vampires are going to beat up one old man. The Ron Perlman walks away. He's like, I don't got time for this shit. Well, the other one beats up the old man. And like you said, Blade.
It's not Ron Perlman, it's Hellboy.
Hell Perlman. How about that?
Nope.
Ron Hellman.
Nope.
Anyways, so Blade gets, after all that happens, they all come down to Blade and they knock him out and take him captured with Old Man and Daryl. They wake up in a bloodbath area for something.
So that the main bad guy can monologue and tell his entire plan.
No, not the main bad guy. First, Daryl monologues. No, I guess the main bad guy in the monologues first.
Yeah, he has to explain about the gene mutation and how that Nomak is actually his son, and that
The movie tried so hard to make that a mic drop. Like, I don't care that's his son. Who gives a shit? Like,
it's so like, look, he's got the ring, and this makes the daughter mad.
She's not even playing, like, whatever. She's not even mad. She's like, oh, that's my brother? Like, really? So it's a whole family drama bullshit. This is like very Del Toro to me because there's always like a lot of family issues in his movies, where it's like this.
This is definitely family drama. The half hour here.
Yes, yes. And as the family leaves, Perlman starts shooting Blade and knocking out Whistler. And Blade's like, haha, joke's on you, buddy. I got the bomb and control in my hand. Goes to click it, nothing. And this is when Daryl comes out. It's like, oh, by the way, I'm actually a bad guy. And that's a dud in your hand. And then Blade's like, I know you're bad. And I know it's not a dud. Clicks it again and blows up Reedus.
Which makes no freaking sense. Why didn't he blow it up with Ron Perlman in his head instead of waiting for the reveal?
Exactly.
He would have not have to wait for Hellboy to still be alive to be an antagonist at this point if he would have just blown his head up. But no, he wanted to play around and say, hey, this is not a real bomb, so I could blow up the unimportant human here.
And why does he think... First off, why would he do all this monologue in the first place, Daryl? And then why would Blade think this is the point where Daryl will come out and say, I'm the bad guy? Like, why would he, like you said, like, why not just push the bomb button
because
the first
it's
time?
written by a terrible person that doesn't know how to write.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all. And if you cut this, let's say they wanted to bring back Whistler in this movie, which I totally opposed in the first place, and all this happened. And let's say they wanted to kill Daryl off. Instead of giving him this heel turn, they killed him off, like the vampires just kill him. That would give Blade motivation to be more Blade, I think, instead of just having a pointless heel turn for 30 seconds. And then it's bad.
Crap. It's all crap.
It could have been handled so better in so many ways.
This is really one of those movies that I thought I was liking when I was watching it.
Oh no!
As we keep going on, the score keeps going lower and lower.
Okay, so yeah, Daryl's death. His death is cool because he blows up, like it looks legit.
It definitely wasn't better than the first one when I was watching it, but I was enjoying the movie. I only checked the time once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I struggled getting through this one.
This is we've had this conversation all the time. You never can finish a movie in one sitting. I don't know how people stop movies in the middle of watching a movie. I'm a completionist. If I'm watching a movie, I'm watching it to the goddamn end.
I used to be like that. I used to be really good at finishing movies in like one sitting, but I can't do it anymore for some reason. I'm really upset about it.
Even if the movie's terrible, I'm like, well, I sat here for all this time to get through this goddamn movie. I'm going to watch it to the end. And then I'll bitch about it later, but goddamn it, I'm going to watch it.
I can't. You usually know why I can't, because I'm usually watching movies in my bedroom. I'm going to lay in my bed when I'm watching this movie. So I'm knocked out 30 minutes into it, wake up an hour, like rewind, watch 10 minutes, knock back out again.
Yeah, I can't. I can't fall asleep if I have stuff on in the background.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. I can sleep through an earthquake.
Not me, man. I need complete silence.
And I don't envy that. I'm sorry. I'm sleeping right now, honestly. This is tired. Anyways.
Sometimes I gotta put like a fan on in the summer just to drown out the noise.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Like in winter, I mean. Have the fan on every night just because.
Really?
Yeah, because the slightest noise will wake me up.
Do your fans not make noise?
Well, the white noise from the fan cancels out everything else.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. Anyways. So, Daryl has his heel turn and dies. Do they fight?
Okay.
I'm trying to forget what happens after that. I'm sorry.
They electrocute Blade.
Okay, they electrocute Blade. They can do surgery on him or some shit like that.
Yeah, they electrocute him and I guess capture him. I guess that's what he's not already captured. Why they had to take him to that blood room?
I know.
And monologue to him first.
I know.
And then they go and do it. Why didn't they just do this when they had him unconscious on the ground already instead of giving him a chance to escape? And why did they bring Whistler with him instead of just killing him right there?
Literally, Whistler has no reason to be alive in this movie. Like, why would they keep him around?
Yeah, there's no reason for him to be alive at this point. They should have just killed him right there and there. Instead of bringing him back to the hideout so he can foil your plans later.
Because at this point, the kid knows more about the Blade than Whistler does. So, like, why this movie's stupid. This movie's really stupid. Anyways, that's what I said. This movie has like a lot of rinse and repeat from the first movie.
Yeah, it does. It's like, oh, okay, we're gonna go do the whole drain his blood thing again.
Yeah, it's like we already did this. Like, why? And now, like, yeah, Whistler's gonna fight, and Whistler takes down Ron Perlman so easily because he breaks through his cuffs and like hits him from behind.
Well, he picks his way out of his gloves,
Yeah.
handcuffs, and yeah, he just takes down this
Yes.
vampire
This
with a few kicks.
This crippled man in a metal cast does this. How? Didn't last movie's vampires like break through so much shit?
Yeah,
Like like I said, these vampires are so weak in this movie. The son's breaking into that vampire hideout now, clubhouse, and he's just running through everything. It's like this isn't even like why are we doing this?
because we got to get the whole dramatic scene where he kills his dad in a few minutes after the daughter traps him in a room for some reason.
It's so dumb. So yeah, the brother's like so close to catching their father, they still escape, and Blades don't. How does Blade escape?
He's freed by Whistler.
Oh, okay.
Like, you did watch this movie, right?
I did watch. I literally just I watched it when I texted you. Like, oh, I'm done movie now. Finally,
it's like 2 hours ago.
I know. I'm sorry. My thing of the movie is like there's a lot of just like nothing, but kind of something going on.
There's a lot of things going on. It's just none of them make any sense.
They make no sense, and like there's a lot of things I don't care about because I know by the end of the day, Blade's going to do his thing and make it through. Like he just never felt like in trouble to me. Anyways, Blade's like knocked out, like he's struggling to walk around. So Whistler helps him get away. They come in contact with a big bald Hellboy. Hellboy shoots some stuff at them. Blade falls into a blood pit, gets rejuvenated, and he has his one-on-one with Hellboy. This fight lasts a minute at most. Not even. And Blade cuts Hellboy in half. Goodbye, Hellboy.
Goodbye, Ron Perlman. Even your acting couldn't save this movie.
No, I love Ron Perlman. And there's some more fights, it looks like, I think. Maybe not. Hold on.
I don't think we mentioned the choreography is actually the best thing in this movie, though.
It is. The fight scenes are really good. Like I said, I don't think I said it, but Donnie Yen was a fight choreographer for this, and he's known for being a great fighter. The blood, the gun stuff isn't great. Yeah, after killing Ron Perlman, Blade goes to walk off, and as Blade walks off, Whistler says, "Yo, you forgot something," and throw Blade his sunglasses. I just laughed out loud when it happened because it's so.
Yeah, I mean, it was so comic booky stupid.
Yes,
it's like, yeah, this is for kids in an R-rated movie. What?
That's, you know what? Identity Crisis. Another one has an Identity Crisis like 1013. Like, who's it for, guys? It's not for me.
Right. It's like people who watch comic books are stupid. Here, we do this in here.
I think that's what David Goyer's thing is. Like, yeah, they don't know what they need or want.
And then he turned into dark emo writing, and it's like, this is what comic books need. And nope, you don't know how to write because you suck at your job.
I mean, he's probably worth a couple million, so he's doing something right, I guess.
Well, a lot of people are worth a couple million, couple billion, and it doesn't mean they deserve it.
You're not wrong. Not wrong at all. So anyways, Blade walks out with his glasses. Whistler destroys the embryos that were being modified, so there's no more of those being made in the world. So we think. And then we get to the family drama hour, like you said, half hour. Brother monologues with his dad. Dad tries to like, hey, bro, son, I didn't mean to do all this to you. I'll fix you. It could be a cure. And the son brother's like, nah, I'm killing you. Kills the dad. He's dead. Brother goes kill his sister. She's dying, not dead yet. And then Blade comes in. The last PlayStation battle happens, and he somehow kills the brother, putting the thing into a stake into his heart. And brother dies after saying some last words. The sister says, I want to see the sunset when I die. And Blade carries her off into the sunset, sits her down. They have like this very emotional, undeserved love scene, looks like. And she dies in his arms. I don't know where the love came from at all in this movie for those two. And I think that's it. And then that's how the movie ends. Kind of.
Not really.
There's just kind of like post-credits thing going on where Blade ends up in London, and as he goes in to kill the vampire from the beginning of the movie at a nudie club. Yeah. And that's Blade. That's Blade 2, ladies and gentlemen.
That was Blade 2. It was terrible.
It was a bad movie. It's a bad movie. It's not a good movie. There's some decent in it, but overall, it's not a good movie. Man. Like you said, your rating was a 6 at first. Mine was a 5 at first, but I might have to change that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no reason to really sum up all of our complaints. We could literally complain and complained
we did
in this one.
But the funny thing is, it's not an atrocious movie. It's just a bad movie. Like, it does have some good to it. Nothing I can think of right now, but it does have some good stuff to it.
This is not a movie that you should watch and review.
I don't think it's a movie you should watch in general, honestly.
I think it's a good popcorn movie. Like, if you're just watching it and turning your brain off to watch it, I think it's actually decent because it's like, there's a bunch of action stuff. We're killing vampires. Who cares?
Yeah, the action's good. The gruesome stuff's good. It's just, even when you turn your brain off, like like I said, bringing the guy back is just like, I can't turn my brain off enough to not get past that. And the heel turn. Those two things are my biggest two sins in this movie.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what's going to bring it down in general. This movie was never going to be a 9 or a 10. It was always going to be a 6 or a 7.
And that's what I was hoping for.
But and so when you turn your brain off, it can be that kind of movie. But once you start dissecting it piece by piece, it turns to shit.
Yeah, it falls apart real quickly. You see the cracks in the foundations of this movie. So what do you want to give this movie? What do you go give this movie?
Well, what are you giving this movie?
Well, initially, let's give it a 5. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
4?
Yeah, I think 3 might be too harsh. Well, hold on. Let me think about this. Because 1 and 2, 1's abysmal, the worst thing ever. 2 is like kind of better than the 1, obviously. I think 3 and 4 we should recommend. Just 4 something you kind of like more. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
We've never given a movie a 1 or a 2.
I can't give a movie a 1 personally.
Oh, I can. I got a couple.
I respect that.
But we did give Supergirl a 3.
Yes.
Or at least you gave it a 3.
Okay.
I gave it a 4, I think.
Interesting. And to me, this is not
I
bad
think this
like
is
Supergirl.
I think this is just as nonsensical as Supergirl was.
Interesting.
Because it has the same issues. It's just differently executed.
What do you mean by same issues?
It's got an identity crisis. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid in a lot of ways, and it just goes off the rails in certain ways that doesn't make any sense.
The thing that's redeeming it for me, and me personally, is the technical side of it. Just the
but
visuals.
that's comparing a 2002 movie to a 1985 movie.
So Superman was better than Supergirl visually.
Yeah, but
And that's older.
But it's still using the same technology. It's still using the same kind of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like also, movies came out in 2002 that were like not as bad as Supergirl visually, obviously, but still like bad graphics. Like the fight scenes, the PlayStation battle fight scenes in this, they're noticeable, but they're not like, oh, this is Scorpion King level bad, or this is.
If you listen back on that Supergirl review, we did praise it for its, for its effects, for its settings, for its look, essentially. So given this a better review based on better technology in the future is really unfair.
I don't think so. I mean, it is for sure. Like I say, like a bad movie now is nowhere near as bad as a bad movie back then, and vice versa.
Oh, there's some bad movies now. I'll argue that last movie you made me watch was a bad movie. That's
what I made you watch. Mandy?
That one. Yeah, that one.
It was bad, but it wasn't like atrocious. I've seen way worse.
It was really, really bad.
Oh.
Scarred me. It's your score. I don't care. I'm just reminding you of what you gave a movie that had the same issues. Though to be fair, I think when we got to Superman 4, you did bump it up a number.
Supergirl?
Yeah.
I probably did. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
My biggest issue with Supergirl was the ending, the pond. Like, oh, they did all that traveling. That was another big issue of mine.
Yeah.
But again, it's bad writing right there.
I would argue the heel turn is just as bad.
I might give this 3. I don't know what I'm going to give this. This review's fresh in my head, so I might give it 3 or 4. I think a 3 might be too low for this movie, just for some. Maybe it's not, though.
I'm just saying, I'm scoring it the same as I scored Supergirl, which is a 4. So I'm giving it a 4.
You're giving this a 4?
Yeah, because
hold on,
it's as bad as
It's as bad as Supergirl to you.
Yeah, and I was actually going to give it a 3, but then I remembered what I gave Supergirl and how lenient I was on that movie.
Were you
based on as far as my score was concerned, I ripped it apart, but
that's fair.
But so yeah, I would give this a 4 because it's the same type of bad movie as Supergirl was.
I think I'm probably more generous lenient with this one because it's vampires. I like vampires. And it's bloody. I like blood. Supergirl wasn't that. Also, Supergirl... Whatever I gave Supergirl, I might give this.
You gave Supergirl a 3.
I gave it a 3. Is that my lowest review? Is that my lowest rating for her?
I think it is your lowest.
It's lower than Howard the Duck.
I think it was. I don't remember though.
There's no way.
I remember at the time it was the lowest.
I don't know. Because Howard the Duck pretty sucked too. Also, that was a 5 though. Another one. Yeah, you know what? I think you talked me into it. Bringing back the guy from the dead, dumb. and making Norman Reedus bad, dumb.
Like I said, it's your score. You give it whatever you want.
Well, see, now I'm thinking about giving it 2 now, honestly. Because those really pissed me off. I'm not angry about the film. So 1 to me is something I can't recommend ever again. 2, I can recommend. 3, something I would watch. I'm not going to watch this movie again.
But how many times have you already watched it?
I was probably my second or third viewing of this movie. Probably my third viewing of this movie. Not even second or third. I'm going to give this... God damn, TJ.
A -7 out of 100.
I'll give it a 3.
Don't let me influence your score. Don't let me influence your score. I was just reminding you of what you've done.
No.
I do this on my other podcasts with my other co-host Sean a lot.
I appreciate
because
that.
he can never remember his scores, and I have to constantly remind him of what he does. Like, he constantly makes comparison to other anime that we watch, and he's talking about one anime, and I know he's referencing a different one. So, like, you're not talking about that anime, you're talking about this anime, so.
And I think also that affects me with scores, like, the day. Like, I'm watching it today. I watched Supergirl that day, so, like, my moods are different, obviously. And so it's really hard to be blatant, like, have a blanket.
Yeah, I've noticed. I always... never realize how hard it is for people to make an objective review of something. But I can always just turn my brain off and just take my opinions out of it and just give something and give it an objective review. But apparently, I know a lot of people can't do that
because I don't want to do that. That makes sense. I want to give you my review, not like this movie is this, and this, so it's going to be this. I felt this way because I did this. I had this for breakfast essentially. I slept through the movie for sure. If I can sit through one of these movies without sleeping through it, it's going to be a good rating. Put that right now.
But my thing is, I'm going to tear a movie apart and give you my opinions on why things is bad. But overall, this is a review show, so I'll give you my objective opinion. I will tell you what my personal opinion, if it matters, on a movie. Like earlier, I told you that it was a 6 looking at it just purely as watching it from a regular standpoint, from a purely emotional watching it standpoint.
Yes.
But in the end, objectively, you get my objective score on the matter.
Oh, I get that. But for me, the review is my objective and my technical. It's all of it together. Like, it's my review. It's my outlook on it. Like, that's why I'm usually forgiving with movies, because I understand a movie's trying to just a movie. It's not trying to make an Oscar. It's not trying to win any awards. It's trying to be entertaining. But a lot of times, the entertaining is not there. Like this. So this is definitely...
And that's where our reviews are definitely going to differ, because when I'm watching a movie, I don't really see the technical side of things.
Exactly.
I don't see the hard work that goes into it or anything like that, because I am purely a story guy. Mm-hmm. And so I can see the issues in the script all the time. Like, I never criticize like the CGI unless it's so bad that I notice it or something like that, or the technical side of things, or the directorial side, or how a movie looks, or anything like that, because I really don't notice that stuff so much, and it doesn't really affect me as well as you're effectively telling me a story.
I respect that. That's the one with Mr. Freeze, right?
No, Batman Forever is the one with the Riddler. I think you're thinking of Batman and Robin.
That's the one that broke me.
Yeah, I think that was the one that broke you. You're right. I think I think that was it. Because I remember going into that review and you were excited for it because you remember loving it so much and defended it to people, and then you rewatched it and realized how wrong you were.
Ooh, that movie sucked. This is better than that slightly. So whatever I gave Batman Forever or Batman or whatever the fuck it's called, Batman Forget About It, I'm gonna give this one a notch.
1 point higher.
Exactly. That one might have had a 2, honestly. So I'm gonna give this a 3. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, it might have. I actually don't remember what you gave that one. Now that I think about it,
there's no way I gave that on par with Supergirl. If I did, I feel really bad, and I might have to readjust Supergirl then. Wait, I get what you're saying about the review stuff. I think because everyone's different, I can't.
Well, and that's my point. Everybody's given their take on it.
Yeah. And
I don't think anybody's actually looking at a movie from an objective point of view. Like, I'm only looking at it as a like, when people look at it from an objective point of view, the critics and stuff, they're looking at it as a movie as a whole, you know?
I don't know, because it's art, so it's kind of hard to have this movie's this because of this.
Yeah,
than this.
That's fine, and I get what you're saying. But if you're analyzing it just based on its story, like pretty much I'm doing,
Yeah.
then it's easier to look at it objectively because then you're taking out all the hard work that's being put into these movies.
But then you're taking out things that are making the movie. You're just doing just the story. Then you're just reviewing a story, not a movie at that point.
Well, not necessarily, because a movie is its story.
Yeah, like, but it's a motion picture story.
But like at the same time, how they're the acting and stuff is also part of the story. It's how well they're portraying that story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's all being like that, but like I'm not gonna take a point off of a movie because its CGI is really bad.
Oh, I can. It depends on how bad the CGI is of the time too, or what the special effects may be.
But like people say, like for instance, going back to Star Wars, what was it, Rogue One? What they when they CGI'd the Admiral guy in.
Yeah, I don't care about that because it's almost hard to do. So like
people have complained how bad the CGI is in that.
Yes.
But like for me, and like I'm not a movie guy at all. Like I'm not even sure. I mean, I know who he is now.
Yes.
But when I first saw that movie, I have no idea. I was like, oh, that's the Admiral guy from that. I didn't even know he was dead. I thought, oh, they got the actor back. Literally had no idea. No idea that was CGI or anything like that. That's how bad I am with it.
I respect that.
So like, I don't look at it from a technical point of view.
I understand, but at a certain point you kind of have to because with what we are reviewing, like you shouldn't be not in my opinion. People who do what you said take a point off because that dead actor looked fake. It's a actor, of course it's gonna look fake. It's only so really you can look at it. But like,
right.
It's still a technical visual medium, so we do have to grade on those scales too.
Well, sure.
Like, if a scene's too dark to see shit, I want, like in the 2014 Godzilla, if Godzilla is only fighting at nighttime, cool. But if it's too dark to see what he's doing, well, I visually can't see what you're trying to show me, portray to me. I'm gonna knock at least 1 point off of that for that reason.
But only if it's so egregious that it affects you.
Yeah.
But like, there's plenty of reviewers out there who do objective reviews, and this is why I'm separating out why I am my objective reviews from them. But their objective reviews are taking points off for silly things like that, like bad CGI or bad miscasting or even and the worst offenders is comic book people who take points off for not having the right costumes or stuff like that, which that's pure emotional. But
Well, see, that's why I put the box office in the beginning, so I could compare to people what else came out that year to have you like, okay, so what else came out 2002? Lord of the Rings 2 Towers. So visually, this is on par with that or above or below. That's why I kind of rate things certainly. Or also, what else came out that year? Some animated movie. Like, okay.
Which is also why we are doing this podcast together. You're giving them the movie review and I'm giving them the story review, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to do this podcast with you, because you're the movie guy and I have full disclosure here. I do not watch movies. I watch superhero movies and that's it, pretty much.
God, it's crazy to me. You're missing so much good stuff out there.
I do not watch. I haven't watched a new movie that wasn't a superhero movie since like 2000, honestly.
Wow. Well, it's good though, because you being that and me being this, our numbers will rarely, because I think we have been on the same page a few times. We
have been, we usually are on the same page because it's just a movie's either good or it's bad, but our reasonings are different.
Yeah. I think we usually on the same page, like on a 5 or a 6, like somewhere in the middle. Like, it's a movie. It's like an average.
But my scoring is usually a point different than you.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's never like really drastic. I guess Mandy was, but I can't count that one.
No, Mask of the Phantasm, we were completely different.
Yeah. That's a 5 for me, right? That was like, what, an 8 for you?
Yeah.
I don't know how. That movie sucked.
No, you're just wrong.
It's an average movie, if anything. But we should wrap this up. We've been talking about 20 minutes of this.
No, I mean, it's good to differentiate why our reviews are what they are.
I agree.
Because this isn't Siskel and Ebert, this isn't two movie critics watching things. This isn't a professional thing.
Yeah.
It's just two different points of view from two people who have no professionalism.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
All right, I'm done to talking to these idiots.
Yeah. And that's another thing. We call our audience idiots and egg suckers. And you feed them dumb puns.
They're idiots. That's the only thing they get.
I like to imagine the guy who just listens for the puns. He writes it in his notebook. Oh, it's funny, TJ.
No, it's more like someone's hate watching it for the puns. God damn it!
Oh, man.